Okay, Assalamualaikum. Hello, sir and miss and everyone. We are from group 1 and 7. In this presentation, we would like to present a review of KDP article. The title is Overcoming Barriers to Cycling for Knee Disarticulation and Transfemoral Prosthesis User, a pilot study in the Netherlands. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, group 1 and 7 consists of Ahmad Hadi Iksan, Delia Tri Octavia, Evrelia Putri Sembiring, Kurnia Azhara Febri, Molde Istiqomah, Widya Dana, and myself, Ondo Anugrah Suranta. Next slide. In this PPT, we will to discuss about background and purpose, research method use, outcome measure use, key finding and result, clinical implication for TF practice, limitation of study, and future direction. Next slide. Okay, this is a journal identity or journal information journal we use to make this PPT. Next slide. Okay, this will be delivered by Maudi. Maudi, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ondo. This is for the background and purpose. Cycling is an activity with a number of benefits. It can be done as a recreational activity and is a cheap and eco-friendly way to transportation, especially in flat country like Netherlands. For rehabilitation purpose, cycling is a good way to train the cardiovascular system and strengthening the leg muscle. In a other study in Slovenia, a person with a TT amputation cycle more than TF amputation. In Thai study, person with a TT amputation were 4.5 times more like cycle than KD or TF amputation. Participants also reported the prosthetic foot slipping off the pedal as a barrier. In that study, almost all participants used their daily prosthesis and shoe while cycling and reported that the prosthetic foot slipping off the pedal was a barrier. However, in that study, specific physical or emotional barrier were not mentioned, not specific factors related to prosthetic or bicycle. The purpose of this study was to explore barrier to cycling and identify solution by interview experience user of KD or TF prosthesis, as well as prosthetic working with lower limb amputee cyclists. For the next person, Widya.
Okay, thank you, Maulida. And I will explain about the research method used. And in this study, use the qualitative research design with in-depth semi-structured interview. The research want to explore personal experience and barriers faced by a prosthetic user and when cycling. And for the participant, a prosthetic user, 6 transfemoral and 2 knee disarticulation, and 3 certified prosthetic or orthotics or CPO with more than 7 years of experience. And the research collected the data through the semi-structured interview that they developed themselves. Since no validated questionnaire existed, the interview focused on the 4 main aspects: physical, physiological, prosthetic, and bicycle related barriers. After collecting the data, all the interview were transcribed word for word and analyzed using the International Classification of Functioning or ICF framework, which group the barriers into 4 categories. First one is physical, physiological, prosthetic, and the last is bicycle related. Next slide will be presented by Avril.
Thank you, Widya. So the outcome measure used. The outcome measure used in this study is based on qualitative method through in-depth semi-structured interview. For the participant is prosthetic user with knee disarticulation and transfemoral amputation, and certified prosthesis or orthotis. For the measurement focus is identification and categorization of barriers and recommendation related to cycling. For the barrier categories is physical, psychological, prosthetic, and bicycle related. For the outcome measure is non-standardized quantitative scale use, thematic analysis of subjective experience and perspective. So the outcome assessment focus on identifying and categorizing barriers is physical, psychological, prosthetic, and bicycle related barriers. and recommendation for overcoming them based on the participants' description during the interview. Therefore, the primary outcome measure is qualitative data on barriers and solutions related to sailing among knee disarticulation and transfemoral prosthetic users, colleague through interview. The results are present as categorized barriers and corresponding recommendation. Okay, the next slide will be presented by Delia. Delia, time is yours.
Thank you, April. The next is finding. The first is physical barrier. The main issue is skin abrasion in the groin area, back pain, and fatigue when pedaling. And the second is physiological barrier, and the main issue is fear or falling and balance problem, especially when getting on or off the bike or on busy routes. And the prosthetic barrier, the main issue is difficult activating cycling mode on the microposisor knee or MPK prosthesis, as well as suspension and socket design issue. And the last is physical related barrier, and the main issue is prosthetic leg often slip off the pedals. And the next is result. This is the result for the journal. The participant profile is a prosthesis user, 6 transfemoral and 2 knee disarticulation, a certified prosthesis or orthosis, CPO, and the experience is 25 until 78 years old. And the last third of the 8 user ride electrical bicycle, and the recommendation is the first electric bicycle to reduce fatigue, and the second is crank shortening and saddle adjustment to address asymmetrical, and a socket with soft brim and test belt for comfort. And the next is automatic detection of cycling mode on MPK, and the last is anti-slip pedal and heel block for prosthetic foot stability. And the next question is
Alright, next is about the limitation. So the first one is small group of people, so not many people were in the study. Therefore, we cannot be sure if the results are true for many other people who cycle with prosthesis. And the second is the data saturation is limitations. Although the study stated that the data saturation was likely achieved, this indicates that there was still some limitations about whether all possible insights from the small group of participants were fully captured. And the third is selection bias. All participants were recruited from only 2 orthopedic service. This means the group of participants might not fully represent all individuals with lower limb amputation who cycle. And for the fourth is self-developed interview tool. The interview got used to collect information for this study and had not been validated. This means there was no external verification to ensure that the interview questions consistently and accurately measured. And for the fifth is lack of scientific basis for interview tool. So there was no existing scientific information or validated tools available to guide the development of the interview scheme. And for the fifth is very open questions. So the questions were very open or general, so people could say many things, but it can make the answers less clear or harder to compare between different people. And it's all about the limitation.
Okay, next slide. Okay, next is the future direction. This study needs a large-scale multi-center study involving more participants from different rehabilitation centers to increase external validity. Next is a conduct long-term study to see whether prosthetic adaptation, and cycling training actually improve the quality of life and independence of user over the long term. Next is the test the solution directly. Does crank shortener really reduce fatigue? Are the anti-slip pedal or block heels you effective in preventing prosthetic feet from slipping? Next is the create and test custom interview tool. Because there is no standard tools for the assessing the experience of cycling with a problem, is necessary to create and test and interview tools that can be used by researcher and clinical. Next slide. Next slide will be present by Hadi. Hadi, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ondo. So this is the clinical implication for TF practice. So the first is socket and suspension. For the first is use soft or lower socket at edge to avoid skin rubbing, and then add a liner for comfort and protection. And the second is prosthetic knee function. Some users find phone apps hard to use for cycling mode. Use automatic cycling detection or manual switch on the prosthesis for easier control. And the third is body alignment and comfort. Is the use a crank shortener or adjust the saddle height to make both legs move evenly. This helps reduce back and hip pain caused by asymmetrical pedaling. And last is rehabilitation training. So education during rehab to build up confidence and balance. Start with easy practice session, great exposure to reduce fear of falling. Next, I will give back to the moderator.
Okay, that's all from us. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.